33 weeks pregnant. Ooh, yeah. I got those for our baby shower. Cool. Can't sit too close to the table because it scrunches Leo's booty. He's really out there and like, I can't get that close to the table. So I'ma fix the ISO because it's too high. It's too high. It's too high. I don't know. Definitely didn't think I could make that, so I don't know why I even tried. I gotta stop singing. But you know why I'm singing? Because I'm so happy because we're getting all these packages. You know how when it's Christmas and you get packages from Amazon like every day? Well, it's like that, except it's like 5 packages every day, like for 3 weeks is what we're doing. So we're trying to finish up the nursery, finish up all the baby needs and stuff so that, you know, when I get this like big assignment in a couple weeks, I can focus on work and all the baby junk gear, accessories are taken care of. And this is in the 34-week bound date because it happened in 34 weeks. But I'm gonna tell you anyway. So I just got a big package and I'd ordered these like custom letter prints thing from Etsy and Argentina at that. And it just came and I'm so excited, and she sent us a little like extra print and it fits perfectly in this frame that I had. Oh, I was just so happy. And our changing bag cover came. Everything's coming together and it's like, oh, I'm so happy. That's why I'm singing everything. I'm gonna do the whole bound date in a voice like this. So 32 weeks, pretty eventful thing. So at the end of 31 weeks, like I said, if you listened, like I said, probably don't remember this. I barely remember it. At the end of 31 weeks, I had excruciating pubis symphysis pain, which is like the fiery pubic bone falling off threatened part thing. So essentially it's the relaxant in your body going totally overboard, and your pubic bone, which is 2 bones, has to be to let the baby through. So like, I think everybody's pelvises are like this, pretty cool. Like even dudes, that's why they have nipples too, because you know, we were all kind of made the same and then we kind of changed. So anyway, there's 2 bones and there's like a ligament thing in between, or a cartilage or whatever. And the relaxant releases that, and I'll be very happy about this in labor. But we're not in labor. We're just walking around the grocery store holding our crotch because I feel like otherwise it might actually come off. So that's pubis symphysis pain. So I was having really horrible pubis symphysis pain. I think that's what it's like called. Whatever, I was having that pain. And at the very end of 31 weeks, I like could not move. It was excruciating. Ugh. And like, I have a pretty high pain tolerance, and that's no, it's not good. So first morning of 32 weeks, wait, I think I'm 34 weeks. Whatever. At the end of last week, it was excruciating. At the beginning of this week, first thing I did was call the chiropractor. Never been to a chiropractor before, but I'd heard good things about it in pregnancy, and so I asked the like Alterna Mama group on Facebook, and I got a lot of like great recommendations and general cheering on of going to the chiro, and they saw me that day. Chiro appointments are like super short, so they had the time to see me that day, and we talked a lot about what's going on and like the moves that aggravate it, which turns out is like Taylor sitting, which is really good for you in pregnancy, but not for me, and squatting, of course, which we've already determined. So she recommended that I get a symphysis belt, which essentially is a Velcro kind of pulley belt that you wear around your pelvis, and it holds your pelvis together. I got that. But she adjusted me. I don't know, it was kind of cool. It's like you lay on this thing and they like slam you down, but you have a thing where your belly goes and it's really nice to lay on your belly. Oh, I loved it. And then she took this like hammer and like hammered my pubic bone back into place. Didn't hurt, just wanted to make it sound gruesome. And she like felt around my round ligaments and stuff, and she's like, well, it would make sense that you have more pain on your right. And I was like, definitely do. And she's like, it's because your right ligament is tighter or whatever. And so she would release it, and I don't know, it was really cool. But then I noticed I was running errands later that day, and usually when I have really bad pubis symphysis pain, I have to get in and out of the car like with my knees really tight together, like I'm wearing a mini skirt, and I'm just having flashbacks of like Britney in like 2006, trying to avoid that. That's kind of how I had to do it, to keep my legs together, because it's like my pelvis is coming apart. I noticed I could do one leg and then the other afterwards. I wasn't even thinking about it, I could just do it. And then it was like all my pain was gone, just gone. Incredible. I went back again last week, and I have like no pregnancy symptoms pretty much, especially no pelvic symptoms. It's crazy. So I got the belt that she recommended. It's called the Symphysis belt. It's like literally for women who have this pain in pregnancy, and if you have it, you'll go to the website and it says, does it hurt for you to put pants on one leg at a time? And I'm like, yes, it really does. I have to put it down so low. You know, not everyone puts their pants on one leg at a time, just like everybody else. Like some of us can't because it's incredibly painful. So anyway, I got the belt, and I noticed that whenever I kind of feel some of that pain and I'm not going to the chiro anytime soon, I put the belt on and it relieves so much of the pain. So I am super happy that we figured this out, and then I went there and she knows a lot more about what to do and poses and whatever that's going to aggravate it than I do. And I went to the doula after one of my appointments last week, and she was super encouraging of going to the chiro, and she said really the two things that we recommend people do to prepare for birth is go to the chiro and do prenatal yoga, both of which I now do. So I feel very prepared, like be perfect, do this. So that's cool. So when I was at the doula, she was feeling around on him, and up until about that point, he had been on my right with his back out. Every now and then he would flip around and kind of like kick the air, I don't know, but then he'd flip back. So he feels comfortable in the anterior position, which is great. And he's definitely head down and has been for a long time. So that's good. So head down is obviously the most important. Second most important is him being interior, back facing my stomach, not back to back. Then the third most important thing is that he's on the left instead of the right. And this, I mean, people have different opinions on this. Most people are kind of like, it doesn't matter, it's not a big deal. But in spinning babies, they say that the right occiput anterior position, which is head down, back out on the right, tends to end up in a posterior position, kind of get stuck in the posterior position during labor. And so that can extend your labor and increase your back labor. So I've been trying to convince him to go to the left, and I've been doing a bunch of different things to do that, forcing myself to sleep on my left side, like regardless. In the first couple nights it was awful because I like to flip around, but for the most part I was just like, you sleep on your left side now. And I've been sitting on my ball like a ton and doing lots of pelvic rocks and cat-cow and all of that. And in addition, and this is what I think happened, okay? This is what I think. So I downloaded the Turn Posterior Baby Turn pack on Hypnobabies, and I listened to it, and you say to the baby, I did this like on Tuesday, right? You say to the baby, Leo, mommy needs you to turn now. She needs you to go over to this position. This is gonna help us with our birth. You like talk to the baby and you ask him to turn. And what's really interesting is there's an actual study, like a great study, like gold standard kind of study, that showed the success of using hypnosis in turning a breech baby was like incredible. It was like 85% of women who were in the hypnosis group turned their baby, and like 30% of the other group turned their baby because they didn't have hypnosis. So that's statistically significant if you ask me, and I think generally statistic standards, but whatever. So I did that, and then the next morning, I am not even kidding you, like the next morning he was on the left. It was weird. It was like he was kind of over on the left. He was like moving over there. But anyway, so he was moving over there, and now he's like pretty much over there all the time, pretty sure. So I went to the doula because I was kind of like, I think maybe that's a knee. I was like so convinced that he hadn't moved, and I know he can still move back, but I like he's progressing. He's moving in the right direction, you know what I mean? And she said, you're feeling him so funny. It's like in, you remember that show Heroes, and the dude who would paint his, like his eyes would flip back in his head and he would like paint the future or whatever. Like that is what it's like. She stares off into space and she's like, do deep breath and relax your belly and boo, boo, boo. She like feels all around it like she's like reading Braille. It's crazy. And she's like, there's his right knee. Like seriously, she said, there's his right knee, which makes sense. If you know what position he's in, you would know which knee it is. She's like feeling way down in my pelvis and she's like, oh, that's definitely a head. It's definitely a head. And I'm like, cool. Because when I go to the OB, I'm like, is he head down? And they're like, I think that's a butt. So I guess I'm kind of like, you are a doctor. Like, but anyway, I guess most obstetricians rely more on ultrasounds, which whatever, it's nice to see the baby, but Leo doesn't like Dopplers. He doesn't like ultrasounds. That kind of makes me think, I don't know, whatever. That's different story for a different day. So anyway, what are you doing, weirdo? So she's feeling him and she's like, well, he's LOA, which is left occiput anterior, and I had been kind of talking to her about my concerns or whatever about being able to turn him and convince him to be over on the left, and she was like, he's on the left now. That worked. It's pretty cool. She also said that she can feel he's very long, but he's not big, so he's not like a huge baby. He's just long and kind of skinny, I guess. So that's kind of cute. Except if he had like big chunker legs, it'd be easier to diaper him earlier. But so in whatever week this is, my main symptom is I have that symphysis pubis pain, off and on, but I wear the belt and like I'm good. And other than that, I would say if I stand up for a lot of time, then my back kind of aches and I have to like pull over and like lean over and sit down. And I do have to like sit down more, which whatever. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's mostly just like I am so very large. So very large. That is what is causing the backache, I would assume. So we had our baby shower this week, and before the shower even started, I went to the sink at my parents' house to wash my hands, and I had to like lean over like this to turn the sink on because my belly was in the way. Like that's how big we are. And everybody says things to me about it. I'm like so big that people are like, there is no way in hell she's just a chub. They all say something and they're all like, are you due tomorrow? And I go, it's almost like there's a whole baby in there. Sometimes is what I say. Those are my main symptoms. I get kind of tired, but I've been sleeping pretty well. Like sometimes it's hard for me to get to sleep just because I'm thinking of so many things. Like the other day we were going to sleep and I realized our nightstand, which is right at baby level, has all of our medication and like supplements and like, like our Dayquil and stuff. It's all in there. And I was like, and I know he's not going to even start standing and doing all that for like many months, but I was thinking, what if we forget, like, are we going to remember that that's there? We're just going to be trying to do it, because he's going to be here. And so I was like, you need to just get rid of it now, put it somewhere else, whatever. And so all that night I would like sneakily like look on Pinterest or like organize bathroom closets because we just put everything in the bathroom closet. And it's mostly that's keeping me up. I honestly can get pretty comfortable. I just kind of try different pillow setups every day and I still haven't found one that's perfect because if I have too many regular pillows, they'll fall out, spill out like beans out of a bean bag. If I use like the Snuggle, it's just so unwieldy. And then the Luna Lullaby, like breastfeeding pillow that we have, it's great, but it's like minky, so it's kind of warm and it's 1,000 degrees outside. I just haven't figured out the pillow situation, so whatever. So our baby shower was this week. It was awesome. Some of my family threw it and it was at my mom and dad's house. They have a pool and they live on a lake and they have all these decks and it's really nice. It was a couple shower, or I guess a baby queue. I mean, I've been to a bunch of baby showers in the past and I am not huge fan of them, especially if you don't know a ton of people. It's like you end up kind of feeling uncomfortable and you like talk to the aunt or whatever that you got seated next to while you're doing all the games. And so I really wanted it to just be a party because like we're by far the most excited about the baby. And like I wanted Omar to be involved because it's his baby too. 50% his baby, so he has to do the shower too. So he like grilled burgers all night and we had like a ton of toppings and like just food like that, and my dad came up with this idea to have a growler bar, which was pretty awesome. So like the growlers that they fill up with draft beer, and we got a bunch of those. Most were like local beers and interesting stuff, and we just had like a big selection of those out all night and wine, and they made this cake, or they got this cake. So we went to this bakery for our wedding and the cake was incredible. Like maybe one of the best tasting cakes I've ever had, but I mean, her work in general is just amazing. So the shower was themed off of the book Sleep Like a Tiger, which her nursery is themed off of. And so my mom kind of like planned the surprise. She took the book and the invitation, which had Welcome Little Prince on it, to the bakery, and she made this incredible cake, like free-handed this tiger, and like, I don't know, it was amazing. So it was really cool. That was a really awesome surprise. And the book was everywhere. There's like banners on the book, and there was like banners everywhere that looked just like it, and it was really awesome. And I think everyone had a really good time. I hope that they did. I don't know, but I had a really good time. It was really relaxed and it was fun. So good job, everybody. Thank you. Cool. That's pretty much it. Leo is kicking away in there. I felt his little feet up in my ribs last night. It's getting there. It's getting large. And that's cool. So I still don't have any stretch marks. My belly button is really out there. I'm gonna show it to you because I'm not wearing a dress this week. KK. I don't look that huge in this picture, but I am. Okay. Oh my god. I have some. I think. Oh shit, man. Hang on. Okay. So they're weird. Okay, well, damn, looks like it could be. Well, anyway, so I've been talking for a long time, people, so you are excused. And